Hello again, everyone. This is Jim here with Sub Stories, volume number 5. Trying to crank these out. I want to get through the first wave of all the stories. I'm going to try to keep up the pace every other day to get them out there. Once I'm through the first wave of feedback, then maybe I'll step back and collect them up and do this maybe on a monthly basis if there's sufficient interest. So I'm having fun with it. I hope you are too, and I've got another plenty of good feedbacks to go over today in volume 5. So let's get started. So the first sub-story for today is from Lloyd Martin, and he's got two comments here that I captured. I'm not sure which one comes first. I assume it's the bottom one because his weight is higher in that one. He says, "Right on, Jim. You're right, I'm still 334 today. Lost 41 pounds since I started this 10 weeks ago. I eat twice a day, 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., no snacks. I do not go over 20 carbs, total carbs. My A1C was 8 to 10. Now blood work last week, went to doctor 2 days ago. Now A1C is 5.1. Doctor was blown away. Just got to stop using stevia in my coffee and milk in it. Think I'm on the right path. Watched all your videos. I'm learning from you. Thanks. I'm feeling great. I'm 50. Want to get my life back." And then the other comment says, "It's been 11 weeks now. I'm at 332, staying the course, feeling good, eating at 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Okay, Lloyd, thanks for your story. It sounds like you are doing well. You're getting your life back. You're 50. It's time to do that. Right on. And this A1C story went from 8 to 10 and now down to 5.1 and blowing away your doctor. I love that. And you know what? It wasn't from taking your doctor's advice, right? You just went and started this for some reason or another, and now you're blowing your doctor away. I love those kinds of stories where we amaze our doctors. Eating twice a day, no snacks. Yeah, that's the way to go. You've got a ways to go. Obviously, you're at 332. You're down. You've made great progress. 41 pounds down. You've got a ways to go. I'm just gonna give one bit of advice right now. You didn't ask me for any advice, but I'm just gonna say, just keep your eyes forward. Listen to your body. Do baby steps. Just have one good day after another good day after another good day, and after doing this, it will become habits. And you'll wake up one day and realize you're pretty close to the end of your journey. But anyway, that's my advice for now. Check in later and let us know how it goes. Thank you, Lloyd. Our second comment today comes from MaineAR. I'm 2 months into Omad. I have about 6 more months until maintenance mode. This has been a long journey starting 3 years ago with quitting smoking. I'm now 1.5 years smoke-free. Unfortunately, weight gain is part of that process. That coupled with the fact I was already carrying too much weight, and I now need to lose 80 pounds. Omad has been very good to me, and I can honestly say it has been years since I felt this good. Last week, I also started to add in exercise. For now, low impact to include 25-minute walk every day. I'm on my way and getting my life back from several decades of smoking addiction." Well, MaineAR, bravo. That's all I can say. Kicking smoking is the best decision. I'm sure you know that in your life, and now you're moving on and working on the weight. But the smoking was gonna be nothing but trouble for you. So you can get your life back now. Great decision there. 1.5 years smoke-free. Great. And Omad, Okay, you've landed on Omad, which is good, and it's been good to you. It's been good for me. Uh, and it makes you feel good. Now you're gradually adding in exercise, low impact. It sounds like you're doing everything in a smooth, logical progression, uh, attacking things systematically, with the most problematic first being the smoking, and you've managed to get to OMAD and now working in exercise. I, Everything sounds good to me. So keep at it. Again, like I just said to the prior story, one day at a time, one day at a time, incremental baby steps. Just keep repeating the pattern, and you'll get there. So, MaineAR, thank you for sharing your inspiring story, and keep up the good work. Our next sub-story today is a short one, comes from Mary. Mary says, "Hi Jim, found you about 6 months ago. Started keto then and doing well. I'm a PT. Please take your time getting back to running." So by PT, I think that means physical therapist. I'm pretty sure, because of the advice on getting back to running. I should have taken your advice. I tried to rush getting back. I tried to just work through it. The first week after injury, I tried to just work through it and just dial back a little bit. I lost some ground then, and actually after a week, things were worse. And so then I just shut down, and really shut down, and took it easy for the next couple weeks. And then I've recovered. I'm now, I'm going to say, close to 100%, maybe 90, 97, 98%. I really don't feel any evidence of the hip injury anymore. I feel only that I lost a little fitness with the downtime. But anyway, thanks for the advice. Regarding you, started keto then 6 months ago, and doing well. Bravo. I don't know any more details about your story, but that all sounds good. So I wish you continued success. Thanks for your comment and for checking in. Our next comment today comes from Michelle Lofter. "I've been off the wagon. I like to be on the wagon. I have terrible cravings, and I do well for a few days, but then I have cravings again. It's such a struggle to stay on program and steady. Keto is what I try to do the most. I've tried carnivore diet and found it was not for me, that I needed more fiber. Thanks for sharing your journey. Blessings to you." Okay, Michelle, thank you for providing your feedback there. You have some trouble getting on the wagon and like to be on the wagon. The key phrase for me when I read your account is, "I have terrible cravings." And that's, to me, that is kind of raises a red flag that you really got to look at what you're eating. Maybe take I don't know if you do any food tracking. I would suggest that if you never have, to do so. And identify what type of foods you're eating that are giving you the cravings, because until you deal with those cravings, you're going to have a hard time being successful. We all know that. But typically the foods are carbohydrate foods, sugars, that make us crave. So I know you said you tried carnivore, which I would normally helps with the cravings, but you said it was not for me, that you needed more fiber, which is another thing that sort of stands out to me. You needed more fiber. I'm not sure why that would be. Why? I'm frankly not sure why anyone needs fiber. Some people, when they start carnivore, find that they're not as regular anymore, and confuse that with being a problem. But I don't know. I can't. I'm not going to pretend to know exactly your story just from this little bit of information. Maybe carnivore is not for you. It's not for everybody. But I would just say maybe look at your diet, maybe move in the direction of more protein and more good animal fats, because you got to get off the cravings. I would suggest maybe, I don't know if you've ever done any fasting, or if you have tried to do OMAD or narrow your eating window, but these are other good tools in order to break the craving addiction. But that's step one, so to break those cravings. So I don't know if I've been any help. Maybe others will have suggestions for you. My cravings were broken by changing my diet and fasting, and some different types of fasting. So you might want to start there. Okay, thanks again, Michelle, and better luck with the rest of your journey, and hope you can get back on the wagon. Our next comment today is brief and to the point. It comes from Miss Joyce Fox, and she says, keto maintenance since April 2017. End of story. So thank you, Miss Joyce Fox. So this is April, so you're 2 years in maintenance. So you're definitely a success story. I don't know your whole story, how much you had to overcome, but another win for keto. I'm glad you weighed in. People need to know that that there is possibility of having a successful outcome with keto. So keto, 2 years in maintenance on keto, and what do the experts tell you? The dietitians and doctors. Keto is a fad diet. Nobody can stick with keto. It's too restrictive. Blah blah blah. And here's a person, Miss Joyce Fox, who's keto maintenance for 2 years now. Bravo. Thank you for sharing your story. Today's next story comes from Miss Liss, and she says, "Hi Jim, I too am one of those lurkers you mentioned. I enjoy your calm style and how you represent those of us who are not spring chickens anymore. I'm 59, went carnivore in March of 2018. Hit my goal of 40 pounds lost in October 2018 and have been maintaining since. I struggled with obesity most of my adult life. I wish I knew all this great information as a teen. Better late than never. For sure, I am sold on this for me and look forward to enjoying excellent health in my senior years. Thanks for sharing your journey." Well, my gosh, Miss Liz, thank you for sharing your journey. I'm glad you came out from lurking to share your carnivore success story. Trying to get the word out there. March to October, so what is that, 7 months? You lost 40 pounds and hit your goal and been maintaining ever since. After struggling with obesity your whole life. Yeah. Where have I heard that story before? I too was kicking myself for losing decades of my life. But maybe you have to put in those decades. For stubborn people like myself, I had to put in those decades in order to finally just hit bottom and open my mind to a different approach. And I don't know what it took for you, but yes, better late than never. I'm really happy to hear this story, that you feel better than ever, and you're sold on this and having excellent health in your senior years, which you surely will. Miss Liss, thanks. I'm really pleased to share this with everyone, and I hope you continue to have success. Thank you. Our next comment today is from Norma Martinez, and she says, "I started my journey August of 2018. I did keto, then keto 2 meals a day, and now just doing OMAD. So far, lost 35 pounds, starting weight 222 down to 185. For the past 2 months, I have been from 188 to 184 back and forth. It's driving me crazy. I have to have, I like to have a fruit after my meal. I think I'm going to cut that and see if it helps. Well, thank you. Thank you, Norma, for sharing your story. Um, I like that you progressed, went from 2 meals a day to OMAD. You lost 35, and now you're kind of in a stall zone, which is not uncommon. Um, yeah, and it can kind of drive you crazy after you made some progress. I understand that. You say you like to have a fruit after my meal. You didn't define that a fruit. I don't know that that's the problem. A piece of fruit maybe is not going to be a big problem. I lost a lot of weight having a piece of fruit or some fruit after my meal. My two suggestions are going to be what I would say to anybody and have said to others. If one idea is, if you've never done any food tracking, is to maybe take a good look uh, at what you're eating and do some tracking, and kind of, sometimes it's surprising. Um, Maybe you're eating a little too much. Uh, Eating OMAD, even with OMAD, you can be eating too much, or maybe you're getting too many carbs. Um, it's if you're stalled, uh, I would basically, first place, look at the food you're eating. Second, you can probably predict this if you watch my channel, is to maybe look at working in a little bit of fasting. For my story, it was going to OMAD and also some fasting in addition to changing up the food. So you'd be surprised. Fasting was always, for me, when I was on a plateau, it was the thing that kind of reignited the weight loss. And I don't know if you've ever had fasted before or had any experience, but you can just try it and see how it goes for you. Try it for a few days, listen to your body. If you're going well, do a few more days, just see how it works. You don't have to go overboard with it if it doesn't feel right, but then maybe give it your best effort, and then monitor for a month or so, and then maybe do it again. Fasting sort of changes how your body's. It seems to cause changes in your body's metabolism, and it seems to, in my opinion, it reignites the fat burning pathways. That's my theory, anyway. So those are my two suggestions on getting off the plateau where you're at, so that you're not driving crazy. 2 months, you could just ride it out too, and wait a little longer. Sometimes, things, you just need, your body needs time to acclimate. But I would do those two things. Really take a hard look at the foods you're eating, and maybe work in some fasting. Thanks for sharing your story, Norma, and I hope things start rolling for you again in the near future. Our next comment today comes from Olive's Dream. And Olive's Dream says, "Thanks, Jim. Thanks for your words. Your progress has been amazing. I agree with not fooling around and not looking for ways to accommodate our old habits that got us in this mess. I've been doing a 20-hour fast with a 4-hour eating window, 12:30 to 4:30 usually. I feel amazing. By counting carbs, fat, protein, and keeping a 1,200 calorie a day window, the weight and jeans are falling off." Well, thanks for sharing your journey, Olive's Dream. I don't know how far you're into your journey, but with the weight and jeans falling off, it sounds like you're doing something right. The 4-hour eating window is working for you, and combined with counting the carbs and keeping, you're not overeating with 1,200 calories. So you're I don't know if that's a deficit for you, but I mean, paying attention to the eating frequency and how much you're eating, I'm not surprised that the weight and the jeans are falling off. This, if this is working for you, I would just continue. You don't say that you have any frustration, so keep up the good work, and hopefully this takes you to your goal, whatever that might be. Thanks for sharing your story. And the final story for today comes from Omad Outlaw. I call him Mr. Outlaw. And he says, I'm at 3 years into mostly Omad with 60 pounds lost and at least 60 pounds to lose. But I need to do some longer fasts to get off these stalls and get back into 230s of last fall. Okay, thank you, Omad Outlaw. I know you. I've seen you on some of the Omad sites, the Omad Man site, and you've got a good story. Omad's working for you. It works for a lot of people, and I like your idea to do a longer fast. You're midway in the journey. It sounds like that's a great idea. Get you down into 230s. I hope. Let me know how that goes. All the best to you. I know you have I think you also have a YouTube channel, and I'll link to that in the comments below, and people can follow if you're still updating your story on your YouTube channel. People can follow your progress there, I'm sure. Thank you, as always, as I say, Mr. Outlaw, for sharing your story, and continued success to you. So that'll do it for today's version of Volume 5 of Sub Stories. That was a pretty interesting mix of successes and struggles, and people midway on plateaus. And that just shows you there's a variety of things out there. And it's one of the reasons I wanted to share all these, because you see everybody's doing all kinds of different things and has different challenges and different things they're dealing with. And for everybody watching these videos, you might find a bit of yourself in some or many of these stories. I do. Yeah, I do. I relate to many of them. So until next time, hope to see you back. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll check in with the next Volume 6 here real soon. Take care, everyone.